Hey guys, in this video, I'll explain NIST Zero Trust Architecture White Paper, Part 1 and Part 2, Zero Trust Basics. NIST is the acronym of National Institute of Standards and Technology. You can find the link to get this white paper in the description of this video. The white paper of Zero Trust Architecture put forward by NIST is a detailed guide for enterprises and organizations to begin their zero trust journey. Based on this paper, I'll make a series of videos to present zero trust architecture. This paper is a very good and complete presentation of zero trust, but it's more like an abstract. So I'll add details and state of art of zero trust to this video along with presenting this white paper. Okay, first, let's check the definition of zero trust and zero trust architecture. We introduced zero trust in last video, and we say it's a way of thinking. Here, the white paper gives a more accurate definition. Zero trust provides a collection of concepts and ideas designed to minimize uncertainty in enforcing accurate, least privilege, per request access decisions in information system and service in the face of network viewed as compromised. Basically, this definition has included all three principles we mentioned in last video. To minimize uncertainty, so it means never trust, always verify. In enforcing accurate, least privilege, per request access decisions, it always give users the least privilege, and always consider the network is compromised. Apparently means always assume breach, always set up the network for the worst situation. And then zero trust architecture is an enterprise's cybersecurity plan that utilize zero trust concepts and encompasses component relationship, workflow planning, and access policy. Zero trust is an operation plan. Zero trust architecture is an operation plan for enterprise and organization to utilize zero trust philosophy. And zero trust enterprises are the enterprises that implement zero trust architecture. However, currently, almost all enterprises are not using pure zero trust architecture. In the sixth video, we'll talk about in detail why currently no enterprise is using pure zero trust architecture. Basically because it's impossible for an organization to migrate to zero trust in a single technology refresh cycle. It's a long run to implementing a zero trust architecture. Zero trust architecture cannot simply be accomplished with a wholesale replacement of technology. So enterprises will using a hybrid security architecture, including both zero trust architecture and traditional perimeter-based architecture for quite a long time. The most important thing mentioned in part 1 and part 2 of this white paper is this zero trust access model. It's a fundamental model for zero trust. In this model, a subject wants to access an enterprise resource. It needs a request first. Access is granted through a policy decision point and the corresponding policy enforcement point. So this paper gives an example of this zero trust access model. Consider the passenger screening model in an airport. all passengers pass through the airport security checkpoint to access the boarding gate, the boarding area. Airport security checkpoint is a policy decision point and the policy enforcement point in this example. The implicit trust zone represents an area where all the entities are trusted to at least the level of last PDP or PEP. In this example, all the passengers after the checkpoint, they can use all the resources in the boarding area. They can have water, food, or go to bathroom, or sit down. The police will not check passengers in this area because they are implicitly trusted that they all have valid tickets. Not only all passengers, but also airports employees, aircraft crew, no matter what role they are, as long as they are in this area already, all the individuals are considered trusted. Remember the pre-zero trust security model we mentioned in the last video? All the resources are stored in the castle, and bad guys cannot get in, and all people inside the castle are implicitly trusted. So they can access all the data, all the resources inside the castle. So compared to this pre-zero trust security model, or we can call pyramid-based security architecture, we can think of zero trust architecture in this way. All kinds of resources are divided into different small castles. Inside these small castle is implicit trust zone. Outside is all untrusted zone. In this big castle model, if you are a king, which could be an admin in real life, you can access any resource in the castle directly. But in zero trust architecture, no matter who you are, you always need to be authenticated to access one resource. Actually, this is one of the implementations of zero trust architecture called micro-segmentation. Zero trust architecture is evolving, so there is no standard way. We'll talk about other implementations in next video. So part 1 and part 2 NIST white paper also gives 7 tenets or 7 principles of zero trust. So principle 1 is all data sources and computing services are considered resources. In the past, hardware, software, and data in company, they are usually protected by different people using different strategies. But using zero trust architecture, there is no difference anymore. They're all considered resources and protect in same strategy. And tenet 2, number 2 and number 3 are saying always verify, never trust. And number 4 is saying zero trust concept is consistently evolving. So the security policy of a company using zero trust architecture need to update. Number 5 and 7 are saying enterprise need to know their resources as clearly as possible. And number 6 is saying dynamically verify all the access requests, which still means never trust, always verify. So basically these 7 rules are an extended version of the 3 core principles we mentioned in last video. Then the paper lists 6 assumptions for zero trust network. They are basically explained of zero trust principles in layman's terms. All these 6 assumptions are developed from the 7 tenets we just mentioned. So the network in an enterprise implementing a zero trust architecture should be developed with 7 zero trust architecture tenets and with these 6 assumptions. So in summary, part 1 and part 2 of NIST Zero Trust white paper emphasize that zero trust is a term for an evolving set of cybersecurity paradigms. The concept of zero trust is still changing, that move defenses from static network-based parameters to focus on users, assets, and resources. So we can see the core concept of zero trust is to shift our attention from static network-based parameters, which is the castle, to user, assets, and resources, because all these resources are not stored in the castle anymore. As for how to shift what to do, it's still developing. We all can contribute to it. So that's all for Zero Trust Basics. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.